is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here, coming at you tonight with another great show, Inspirations for Your Life. And so at the top right, you're going to see a QR code. Just take your phone and scan that QR code. That QR code will be able to get you over to a plethora of lots of the great information that I have that'll help you improve the quality of your life and everyone else in it. I want to thank those of you that are popping by today for the first time. Scan that QR code and become enlightened by lots of the great content that I share every single day. Each day, it is a subtopic based on the master topic, which I'll share with you in just a moment. But I want to thank those of you that are coming back, many of my loyal friends, colleagues, and associates that are watching this great content and seeing value in it, and hopefully, many of you guys that are coming here for the first time will actually become loyal, just like many of the other people that are returning here tonight. All right, so we're talking about where do you want to be in 30 days? I think that's really the question that's coming to mind here. And so when we think about where we want to be in 30 days, we've talked a little about that. We want to think about a tool, right? We want to think about another tool that could help us to be where we want to be in 30 days. And so what is that tool? Well, we talked about different things that a doctor could use, right? Mechanics could use. If we don't have the right tool, we can't maximize our environment to the best of our ability. That's probably the most important thing, is that we have to maximize our ability by using the efficiency in our time. And we do that by leveraging a tool. And multiple tools can help us to become even better versions of ourselves. The challenge is some people don't know what a tool is, how to find a tool. So a tool could be a lot of different things. A tool could be something that helps you with your finances. A tool could be something that you use every single day of your life. Um, Hello there, Kenny. Great to see you again. It is always great to see you with a wonderful, great comment there. Stay strong, safe, happy, and healthy, savoring the flavor of the awesomeness in you, sir, for sharing your delectable thoughts with us tonight and every night. Well, you're most welcome, Kenny. So we're wrapping up this week about where do you want to be in 30 days? And I think the challenge comes is that a lot of people have an idea of where they want to be, but not really sure. Now, I don't mean that you have to know how to get there, but you need to know where you want to be in 30 days. Maybe you want to be a rock star. Maybe you want to be an author. Maybe you want to be the best salesperson in your company. Maybe you want to be a great volunteer. Maybe you just want to be better at a skill, like maybe you want to learn a second language. So there are a lot of things that you can become better at. When you make a commitment in your life and you decide to understand that you can get there with a little bit of work and a tool, that tool actually will help us to grow and to keep us on track. That's right. I said grow, but keep us on track. Now, getting to a goal. Let's think about one right now. Let's think about a soccer player, right? And he or she has that ball and they want to pass that ball back and forth, and they want to eventually get that ball onto the other side of the field so they can score a goal. But that's their goal, no pun intended. They may not necessarily know how they're going to get it over there, but they know they want to get it there. Now, in soccer, it's a little bit different because you have to think about who you're going to pass it to and know who's open and stuff like that. In life, when we think about a goal, we're just trying to get into the vicinity of what we want. And once we do that, perspectives become clear to us. Insights start to become sharper. Now, let's think about this for a moment. Let's pretend that you want to become, I don't know, let's say you want to become a person that knows how to use a map and be able to navigate that map with a compass. A little bit of a skill, right? I learned that when I was in scouts. Now I'm an Eagle Scout. You may not necessarily know how to do it, but at least you can get the understanding of what it's about. Talk to other people, read books, go to trails where you can literally navigate and orient yourself on the map. Now, that sounds really simple when you understand what navigating means and orienting yourself on a map means. I remember the first time I was given a compass and said, John, we're not going to use the compass the way you normally do. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with it? We're going to use it with the map. And I'm like, huh? So when we hear about something that's not exactly the way we expect, we might close up. And the reason we close up is because we don't understand. Thus, if we can learn what's frustrating us, we'll find out that we'll be more open to the situation and to exploring that path. All right. So, where you may want to be in 30 days might be down a path, right? Instead of down a rabbit hole, you want to be down this path. And maybe that path is a path of enlightenment. So, what tools could you use for enlightenment? Well, you could use certain books. Another tool could be meditation. Another tool you could use is to basically get connected with your body through exercise. Those are some tools you can use. Now that you're on this path to being enlightened, what you're going to find is that things are not going to be the way they were yesterday. They're going to be different. And it might seem a little scary, but it shouldn't. It should just let you know that a new possibility, that a new door is opening. I know this sounds like really crazy, but it's the truth. Thus, if you want to get somewhere in 30 days, you have to figure out what vehicle you're going to use to get yourself there, right? If you're going to use a car or train or plane or what have you. But when we're talking about life, we're talking about different kinds of vehicles. These are vehicles that are tools that'll either empower us, that'll keep us on track, that'll tell us when we get off track, and that will share with us different insights along the way. Do you know where you want to be in 30 days? If you know it so clearly that you could close your eyes right now and just envision that, that's great. If you close your eyes and say, oh, John, I don't know, I want to be somewhere, but it's all foggy. That means you haven't thought clearly about where you want to be. It's okay to say, I don't know how to get there. Perfectly fine. No one expects you to know the way. But what we do expect is for you to make the conscious decision that you are going to get there. You're going to do whatever it takes to get there, right? And so when we think about getting there, you might say, well, John, I need to do this first. Let's say, for example, you want to forget being the top salesperson. You just want to be maybe the top salesperson just for the day, not for the week, just for the day, or be the most talked about salesperson in a positive way. How could you go about doing that? Well, one thing you could do is you could use the tool of, yes, social media. You could use your voice. You could also do some nice things for people and keep them educated on your content. You see, a lot of people out there will want to do something because they want to put money in their pocket, but they won't necessarily have a factor that's about education. Let's break it down that education is really what gets people interested. When they become interested, they ask more questions and eventually they want to buy. If you approach a person and you try to sell them, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to probably ignore you. They're going to be rude to you. They're going to walk away. They might get angry. And this is all because you went about this the wrong way. If you look at your client or prospective as someone you just want to educate, I think the selling muscle is going to change. Because when we can provide value to these people, even if you're not going to sell them anything, they may not buy today, they might buy tomorrow or later on, but they're going to tell other people about you. That's right. They're going to tell other people about you. And when they tell other people about you, it's going to make a big, big difference. Yes, that is exactly true. Start with smaller, attainable goals, then progress to the grander ones. So, whether it's a small goal or a large goal, we still need a tool to keep us on point. That might be something as simple as a picture that you can look at to see yourself with that goal already happened. It might be, if it wasn't a picture, maybe it's a sound that makes you resonate. Or maybe if it's not a sound and it's not a picture, it's something that gets you to feel that you have the goal already achieved. Now, remember, I said a tool is not like a tool that you would have in carpentry or in the medical field. It doesn't always have to be something tangible, it could be something intangible that we use as a Minecraft to help us move closer toward our goal. Let me give you an example. If right now you were to close your eyes, you don't have to do it right now, but anyway, if you were to close your eyes and you were to say to me, John, I can't do this. Just close your eyes. And I want you just to imagine that you're in a room. Okay, it's a domed room, a very safe, basically a dark room, and there's a fire pit, and you can feel the warmth from the fire pit. And I want you to notice that there's a whole bunch of notes all around that room. And I want you just to notice that there is a red note, there's a white note. I want you to go after all those red notes and pick them up and put them into the fire. A dream board is an excellent idea, Kenny. Dream boards are great as long as we have the energy that empowers us to grow. I know a lot of people that make these beautiful vision boards. You know where they are? They're behind their bedroom post. They're behind their mirror. They're behind a vanity. They're in their closet. They're stuffed somewhere behind a couch. And then they grab them every once in a while and they look at them, but they really don't feel that they deserve those goals. Thus, when we can take those steps, right, it really empowers us. So, a goal for a dream board, let's say one of your goals we talked about was the car. You get pictures of the car. You put those pictures on the board. Now, you don't have to have a dream board that's, on a piece of paper, on construction paper, or this big poster board. You can have your dream board digitally. And so when you can get your body and your mind, again, to link your brain and your heart together, then the dopamine starts to release in your brain. And when that happens, you start to have this natural high in your body. That natural high is what is going to empower you to keep getting closer until you reach your goal. Pretty cool, right? Some people think that getting to where you want to be in 30 days is to do busy work. I'm here to tell you it's not. So if you're just going to take a piece of paper, you're going to write things down, and you're not going to have any feeling with them, you're wasting your time. Oh, but John, I put in 2 hours a day or half hour a day. You don't need to spend a lot of time a day. You need to do something consistently, something short, and something that's going to be memorable. I recommend doing something in the morning, something in the afternoon, and something in the evening. If you can't do the afternoon, then at least do the morning and the evening. And it usually takes anywhere from 50, 30, 45, 60, 90 days to 120 days till that feeling becomes so ingrained in you that you now believe that it is here. Hmm. So you're saying, John, if I want to be somewhere in 30 days, I need to first figure out what I want in detail, write it down, get a picture of it, and then feel what it is? Yes, yes, you've got it. Mine was a house. I got the house years later. Yes, that's a great idea. And when you started thinking about the house, Kenny, it was a feeling that got you to want the house, right? And what it was going to be like living in the house, how safe you were going to feel, um, imagining coming home to that house with your car, how that was going to be different in your life, right? And so when we have goals that are linked to feelings and they can be so emotional, that's the magic sauce that impels us to become a better version of ourselves. Have you ever gone to a carnival? Okay. And maybe you're about to get on one of the rides. One of my favorite rides was the Tilt a Whirl. For those who don't know, it was a ride you go on, and basically this thing would spin around. It would kind of go almost like up and down as it was spinning around. Like it would go around, but the floor was shaped in such a way so that as it would be moving around, parts would be down, parts would be up, parts would be down, parts would be up, and it's just how the floor would work. And then the tilt-a-whirl would spin. The thing inside would spin as the people would lean. So as the thing was going around and you were spinning, that thing could really spin. And the more you leaned, the more it spin. And so when you got in there, if you didn't put the feeling into leaning, the ride was just going to go around and it might spin once, but it was nothing great. When you really leaned, oh my gosh, you could feel it actually spinning you around. It was absolutely crazy. Now, why do I bring this up to you? My other favorite ride, by the way, is still is it's the Scrambler. So that's a gray ride. As long as they're black, and usually it's like a star shape. You get in, you step up on a platform, you get in, and the door closes behind. There's a little pin that goes in, and the way this works, kind of like an egg beater. So the whole ride spins around, but inside the ride, there's these little egg beaters that keep spinning around as the whole outside is spinning, and so it gives you this feeling. Now, if you've been on this ride before, and you might say, this is amazing. Like I know what it's like to be on the Scrambler. And so just thinking about being on the Scrambler is actually raising my dopamine and making me feel so like really full of life right now because I'm going to get on the Scrambler or the Tilt-a-Whirl. You can do that with your brain. When you start to have an experience, you can actually condition your body to really take that experience and put it back into your funnel and have it create something even better, bigger for everyone. And so feelings are the language of manifestation. If you can't feel it first, go home. Until you can develop a feeling, you're never going to get what you think you want. That's why I tell people go to an amusement park, go to a fair, think about all the senses there, eating the cotton candy, touching the popcorn, the smell, the aroma, getting on the rides. Maybe you're going on a roller coaster and just thinking about that. Now, if you've never been to that before, a park like that, and suddenly you get on a roller coaster, and when it's all done, if I say to you the word roller coaster, we say, what's going on? You get this feeling back in your body because it conditions you. All right. We talked about how to condition yourself in a previous video, and we'll talk about that again another time. Just having the feeling inside you is enough to be the fuel to keep propelling you forward to get to where you want to be. So, in summary, to wrap up here tonight, if you want to get somewhere, you have to first be very clear about where you want to be. Second, you got to make sure that you can feel the emotions of already being there, of already achieving that house, of already riding that ride. Feel it. And if you can't, go do something that's going to give you an amazing feeling. And then try, because it's probably going to be a lot bigger and stronger and more powerful than what you think. And so if you can't feel, then there's not enough reason to why you're doing something. The reason and the why, and when it becomes loud enough, it causes the dopamine to release, and it causes your brain to just go on this overload, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. And your body starts to react as if it's actually happening now, even though it happened days ago, weeks ago, months ago, or even a year ago. You can remember that, right? Do you remember the first time that you put on a cap and gown? Maybe it was in grammar school. And do you remember the first time you put that cap and gown on, making sure the tassel and everything was right? Tassel's supposed to be on one side, and then when you graduate, you change it over to the left. Do you remember what it was like? You remember when they started playing that song? We all know it, "Pomp and Circumstance." Think about that just for a moment. You're in the line. They're just about ready to play. You can hear the few beginning notes, and your heart's starting to flutter. And then the music starts. And then you start stepping. One step, the other step. You know how the pomp and circumstance works, right? Dun, 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 dun. And so it's a very slow progression, but you know how you were just bristling with enthusiasm and excitement and joy and really an abundance of spirit. What if you could capture that day and have that day every day? Well, you really can. Just think back to what it was like to graduating. Now, what I want you to do is think about graduating and imagine that you're graduating to your goal. Just feel it. Maybe you can see yourself stepping down an aisle, and when you get to the end of the aisle, it's there. We've got to do things. You might say, John, that's not true. Yes, it is. See, we've got to create enough excitement in our brain, in our heart, to feel this stuff. Have you ever had to do an event? Maybe you put on an event for school or for your friends, and maybe the event wasn't so great right away, but you had to make them feel the event. And then when they got there, the event was like amazingly, like fantastic. Setting an expectation of feelings and then being able to captivate people into that magical world of feelings is what will bring your goals, your dreams, your aspirations to reality. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you this evening, as it is every single evening and day. I'd ask you please to like my video, support it, and then comment below, ladies and gentlemen, what is going to be your graduation pomp and circumstance to what goal? And what tool are you going to use to help get you to that goal? What tool are you going to use to keep you motivated? What tool is going to keep you on track? Then I'd love you to tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share it out with everyone you know on social media. Then be sure to go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space MRLEY Space Serial Entrepreneur, and look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. Below that, ladies and gentlemen, make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars that you'll invest in us, that we'll put that to new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities and staff to give you the most jaw-dropping, inspirational, motivational, dopamine-packed, natural high feelings that you can have in life to achieve and, yes, believe. Just like my hat says, believe and achieve. You can't achieve until you believe it. And by the way, you'll be able to get one of these cats very soon. We'll have a deep discount for you on that. Enjoy the rest of your night. Click on that link, buy us a cup of coffee, and we'll keep this great content coming just for you so you can get to your goals even faster and manifest them in a way that you didn't even believe was possible. But now you will, because the first time you do this, it's going to become very addictive. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow.